Welcome to
Coffee with the Cubbies.
I'm David.
And I'm Esther.
And our hot topic for today is going to be the reversal of Roe versus Wade that happened here in the Dobbs case. So I guess the first thing that we wanted to talk about was that this is something that as Christians and as conservatives that we've talked about for a long time growing up.
Right.
And really didn't expect that something like this would actually happen in our lifetime.
No, my family did a lot of pro-life ministry things outside of clinics over the years, and I don't know, I never thought it would end. Kind of seemed like an endless battle, but it still is a little shocking to me that
that happened. And I think it's okay for us to rejoice that it happened. It's okay to be excited and happy. We don't have, there's a lot of work to be done, and we'll talk about that. But it's okay to be rejoicing and giving thanks to God that this actually did happen.
Right. I think a lot of people, especially on the other side, they're all upset because they say, you know, we can't have abortions anymore and abortions are banned, which really technically isn't what happened. All it basically did was give it back to all the states to decide, and the voters to go to their authority, you know, and decide for ourselves.
That's a misconception that the left is trying to push, that abortions are no longer legal.
They're banned, and
you know, some states have them. I think there's about 22 states that have trigger bills that go into effect. But really all that the Supreme Court said was that this issue should have been legislation, and the court was using judicial activism to stop the discussion. And they're giving the power back to the states. So really, this was a huge win for states' rights and returning the power back to the people. And now we have to actually have the discussion about life.
I think to us, this issue is particularly close to home just because we had our first baby recently, and before that, we had a miscarriage early on, and a lot of women that I know had been through that, and it's something that you grieve, and it's sad, and you know, people agree with you that it was a baby, whether it was 5 weeks. A lot of them are early miscarriages like ours was, and but then yet on the other end, when you want to get rid of it, they all of a sudden say, oh, well, it's not a baby, it's a fetus, or oh, it didn't have a heartbeat. And so it's such contradictory, like you can't have both.
And it's almost harsh for those that have gone through miscarriages. And we found out a lot of ladies had gone through that, whether they tell their stories or not. Some keep it private, some don't. But to tell them that then it's not a baby, when many have gone through that grieving process, and it's a very personal, very hard experience to go through.
I think too, just our generation is so much more advanced in our technology to know that it is another human. It's a separate person. That's a huge blessing and advancement in our generation compared to when Roe v. Wade was actually being first discussed. So.
We know way more at this time. So Roe is giving the control back to the states, but now we're going to have that discussion on a state level. So we have to stay engaged. This is really just the beginning of having this conversation. This is the beginning of the work that as Christians and conservatives we need to be doing to protect life. So
I guess that's our 2 cents on the subject.
That's a wrap.
All right, till next time, I guess. We'll talk to you later.